I've ran into a problem where I can no longer get trait rolls at a good pace. I've completed all the shops. I have rift shops, but it's going down really slowly. I'm doing the events, and if I'm being honest with you, if I'm lucky, I get around 70 to 80 rerolls a day. That's not exactly a good number, considering I need 1500 for a monarch. So I don't even know if I should play the game or should I just wait for the next update, which should be around September 20th, I think. Somewhere it's after September 17th because they have an event for the flowers in the kaguya, which they announced already. The kaguya is going to leave their next update. Blitz, blitz, two blitzes in a row. Okay. I think we keep solar on him for now, for the time being. I wanted to get monarch on guts, so I decided that I'm gonna need a bleed unit at some point. So I want to go with guts. I want to get the king. He's a pretty good debuffer and also a buffer at the same time. So I want to go for him. Also, hold on, wait 1 second. The wiki is just blasphemy at this point. I don't know what the fuck they're doing, but they put Sukuna at top of every unit. He gets like I think around 60,000 DPS, while Escanor gets around almost 200,000. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing, and they do this all the time. They get a new unit, put them at top, we will grind for it, then they straight up lie. Look at this. They're still putting Yua Baja at the very top as well. I think these two should be higher. I gotta redo my tier list. My tier list was not good, and I think I'm gonna do it right now because it's a good time as any, I suppose, right? Now I don't have a new Sukuna unit or a new Gojo unit, so I don't really know if I can speak on that. I have no idea. But we're gonna go ahead and try to do a tier list again. My last one was, oh man. I'm sure this looks familiar if you saw my last tier list. So we'll just oh for fuck's sakes, come on. Should I have done this differently? I feel like I should have done it differently. So I do tier. Why is it? Oh, I'm using airbrush. Don't use airbrush. I need to use my. It was all F1. Was that my? What was my hotkey for ink pen? Oh, I never save any of my presets. Give me a second. I guess we can go. No, that'll be awful choice. Oh, come on. Found it. Eventually, I got it. I gotta make sure it looks good. All right, nice. So go tier list. Is very high budget. And instead of doing just like the 2 tiers we did last time, we do DPS. The DPS, we'll give it like give it 1 row here. Actually, no, can we have like so much row time, so much space? We can do like this. Ignore that line. DPS, do early. Oh no, not DPS, not DPS. Where's my eraser? Let me erase all of that. We'll do late game. That's what I want to do. Late game, early game. I had to make sure I'm still recording. I have to redo this all again. My hands not like me. Early game. Then we're gonna do support. And then buffer. I think it's a kind of separate subcategory of support that's not really mentioned or differentiated a lot. So let's start with late game. Let's start from the top. We'll do. I don't have Sukuna yet or Gojo, so I can't really speak on them too much. I'll speak on the ones I do know and I have seen showcases of and actually like play with people who use them. Let's start with Yuabaha. So he is technically a late game monitor, whatever. I don't know the difference. Oh man, Yuabaha, you are tiny. Should I have? No, wait, hold on, wait. What just fuck just happened? Did I delete the entire layer? Oh wait, it becomes unblurred. Why is it blurred at first then? late game. I'm gonna go ahead and preemptively put him all the way. Oh, please don't do this to me. You Baja, please go over here. Thank you. I'll put him at the end. I already know. I'm gonna put him back here actually. Not very good. Next, Griffith. He is a buffer type, and I guess a support. He's kind of mid, like not mid in terms of like usefulness. I mean like mid and like he's middle of support and buffer. I think he's more. People use him more for this buffer type though. I would say simply because, well, his regular support, like his slow and stuff, you can definitely find better slows and repulsions. So I think I'd consider him a buffer more than anything else. I don't know why it blurs him. Let's make him skinny. I'd put him pretty high up since he can kind of just be placed down immediately, and you don't really, it doesn't really cost him anything to upgrade. He's got to like wait like 4 waves. So I'll put him like right here, comfortably right there. Now this will kind of be changed around as I get more units in here. Right now, it's not a lot, as you can see. Okay, next, let me go ahead and click bottom of my screen that I can switch between them quickly. Kaguya. Kaguya, in my opinion, is a support. She could be used as a buffer, but she's more of a support. This is as web sRGB or whatever the hell that's called. I don't know. I don't know if there's no difference. I have no idea. She could be considered late game DPS, but I'd put her as regular support. And we have a lot of support units. Let's go ahead and make her smaller. I'll put it right here. I don't put it at first because I have another unit I want to place it first. Sunjin-woo and Igris. Now, I'm going to go ahead and spoil this fun for you guys here. He is going to be first on late game, I think, or right now. Yeah, put him right there. And put him right at the top. I think that was kind of obvious. Then Escanor, also, huge spoiler here. But he's going to be top of the late game right now for having the highest DPS and amazing passives. It's almost impossible to lose with Escanor on your team. Okay. Next up is Guts. Now, my last test, I put him kind of lower. But after using him quite a bit, I have found him to be really good. Since he does kind of act as a support and a DPS. The only issue is I think he's kind of expensive, but so is Escanor. I don't think I judged him fairly. I was judging him as like in team as like in team composition rather than as an individual unit. I'll put him right here for now. It might change. Oh yeah, Monkey King's better. I will put him. Well, he does have bleed and repulsion, which makes it nice because regen enemies are like definitely an issue in this game, and having just him instead of having to bring like your own separate bleed unit. Well, his early upgrades suck. Oh, that's the thing, is his early upgrades are not good. Yeah, I'll put him right there for now. Skull King. Now, I consider him more of a buffer than a support. He kind of buffs your units and cleanses them. I'm gonna put him as the #1 buffer. I know, kind of spoiling the fun here again. But he's definitely probably the best buffer you can go with. Just insane damage, insane passives. Can't go wrong with him. Gojo, I don't think I can judge Gojo too fairly. Because I don't have him. But I think I've played people who use him enough to know where he stands in late game. I put him kind of further down here, somewhere around here. Monkey King. Now, he's going to go comfortably, I think, in the 3rd spot, to be honest. Now, I say that because his early upgrades aren't that great either. That's just Gojo again. Okay, hold on. Let me snap him out of here. Drag him into here. Then I gotta enlarge him. There we go. This is a mess. I'll put him at 3rd spot for now. 3rd spot. It's like no really. I don't want to do an overall tier because it's just kind of vague. I haven't used her enough to know. Sid's actually been amazing. Now, pretty low on damage if you use him in progressive mode. However, use him in infinite mode, he is insanely good. Probably one of my favorite guard breaks to go with of all time. I don't know if I consider him more of an early game or a late game. He's more useful late game for infinites. But his early game guard break is just phenomenal. I put him over here for now. Do I dare put him above Gojo though? Gojo does have more damage, but I feel like Sid is more usefulness. Yeah, I'll put Gojo above Sid for now, since we're not really judging him off infinite capabilities. We're judging him off just like overall late game. I don't have Invincible. I don't have him. Leo, okay. My OBS. I try to open my OBS. Whoops. I can press Control Z. How do I go back? How do I it's fine. I just leave that as this for now. Control V is what I wanted. I really should be using the drawing software for a tier list, but it's fine. Leo is a late game, and I'm definitely putting her above Gojo. I think for obvious reasons. Cheap, efficient, insane damage, and her burn is actually really good as well. So pretty self-explanatory. Okay, it swapped back to not wanting to work. If I click on both, then now I can do that. Nice. GG. Now he is an insanely good early game. However, I think to pair him with a slow as before. Pair him with the slow if you want to use him. I'm gonna put him as a second best early game. Just insanely cheap, insanely good multi-hit, really good damage for his damage output, and he goes from early game all the way up to being a really good late game as well. So he's very useful. Goblin Killer. I think he's more of a late game. I think this is probably one of the only units in the entire game where I had genuinely no complaints about him. He was practically the perfect unit. Yeah, it's like there's really no drawbacks to using him on our team other than maybe like lacking some DPS. Okay, where's Sid? And where's Gojo at? I think I picked Goblin Killer comfortably above them. Especially since he doesn't rely on Monarch. You can use him in like full capacity. He actually does more damage if you don't use a Monarch. And he gets cheaper per placement. How do I... Okay, Gojo right here. Where's Yuabaha at? He's all the way down here. Put him a little further down in the corner where you can't see him for good reason. Actually, I think... Ooh, wait. Yuabaha over Sid? I don't know about that. I've used Sid for a little while now. And I'm just loving his character. Just insanely good overall. I think I put Yuabaha below Sid. Call me crazy, but I think Yuabaha is just not that great. As a unit, he requires so much to be good. I actually have used Quetzalcoatl. I can judge Quetzalcoatl. I think I picked Quetzalcoatl over... I don't think I put her over Sid or Yuabaha, so I'll put her right here. Where's Yuabaha at? We'll reluctantly put him up here. Okay, sub-meta. Do I know any sub-metas? I don't really use too much sub-meta. Supports. Now, here's the difference between supports and buffers. That's going to have a clear difference here. So this is a regular support, not a buffer. And he's the best support in the game. For multiple reasons. People don't believe me on that. But let me explain myself here. Support is something you want that can really support your team. Having a high cost does not help your team out at all. And having a 4 placement, no reliance on Monarch, insane multi-hit, the strongest slow in the game, and really good damage. I mean, Weatherport is just the perfect support to your team. Now, if you have infinite yen or something like that, you're doing infinite mode, or you have unlimited money, obviously Kaguya would be better. But since he supports your team in so many different ways, he's just the perfect support. I haven't used Alucard, the Smith. Now, he's a good buffer. I don't think I'd put him above Griffith, however. Simply because of how long it takes to get the buffs. It's a little unfortunate. Put Griffith right here. The Smith. Put him right here. Because the next one I want to choose was Astolfo, which I consider to be a lot better of a support. Gives the damage buff immediately, has great passives, and can teleport to wherever you need her to be. Or need him to be. Whoops. Then I haven't seen enough of Katakuri to accurately judge him, but I do know he's the best slow in the game. Not the best slow, but like comparable. Him and Weatherport are really good slows. And he's pretty good for tournaments as well. I think I put him below Kaguya. The Priestess. She's honestly a really good support. Full AoE on placement, which is perfect. Slow and a stun and cleanses units. I think, honestly, I don't know. I put her above Kaguya because Kaguya also buffs. I think I put her right here. And then, oh, the Witch. I use the Witch a lot. She is a really underused unit. She's insane. I consider her regular support, not a buffer. I'll put her above Katakuri. Where's Katakuri at? Really shouldn't be using editing software, not editing software, photo drawing, whatever, drawings. I don't, give me a second, I'll get it. Drawing software for this. There we go. Who else do I know? Kaguya. She's great for surviving the eclipse. But her time stop being 1 minute long, I don't know. It's alright. I put her below Priestess. It's all the ones I know. So, this is the tier list I have. I needed to rework it. I picked Guts way lower. But to be honest, because I judged Guts I judged him as overall. And overall, Guts is lacking 100%. And I said because his upgrades suck. He's only really good his last like 3 upgrades. And it's really unfortunate. His summon animation kind of gets in the way. His ability works against them most times if you don't use the right summons, the right familiars, I mean. So, as an overall unit, I definitely wouldn't put him as high. But as late game DPS, I think he's probably the second best late game DPS you can choose. Just overall having like one of the most insane DPSs, bleed, repulsion, and great passives. I mean, you can't go wrong with him for late game DPS. Would not recommend him for early game at all. Take a look at this here. The only thing I'm really like iffy about, I think, might be Sid and Gojo. To be honest, Gojo got a huge buff. Now I'm not sure if that puts him above Goblin Killer. No, wait, no, it definitely doesn't put him above Goblin Killer. No way. But his Void though, if I put him, I don't know. I've seen people use him a lot, but they doesn't really have too much of a purpose on teams. You use him as support, you're kind of like missing out on a lot of support. Using him as a DPS, you're missing out on a lot of DPS. I think he sits comfortably right there. Now, Sid over Yuabaha. I'm reviewing my own tier list. Yeah, I know. Sid over Yuabaha. I'm thinking about that for a second. I think so. Yuabaha had taken an entire team and a Monarch Reliancy just to be like half decent. I think he's definitely comfortably lower on the tier list. They placed Yuabaha so high up. I don't know why. He's really not that good. But, I mean, whatever. Early game, I didn't really choose a lot of good early games. Not a lot of good gamers. There wasn't a lot of early games to choose from. You know? That were like actually really good early games. Mostly they're kind of just great late games. I guess you can consider Weather Report an early game as well, if you really want to. Or Sakuya an early game. Yeah, I put like in the middle. Early game, yeah, I think this is 100% accurate. Sunjin Wu's shadows scaling off enemy health makes him basically good. You get like really good damage no matter what game mode you play because he scales off enemy health instead of his damage. GG as well. He doesn't scale off enemy health, but he just has really good damage. And for how cheap he is, You can he's not like useful for only early game like Sun Jin is, right? Like I max out my late game units, and there's just no point maxing out Sun Jin A race because they don't have that much damage output like towards late game. But GG does, so I think he's really good as well because you can use him early game, middle game, and late game. He's like he hasn't become useless after wave 10. That's what I'm trying to say. Then support, I think that one's right. That one sits comfortably. I would put Kaguya above Weatherport if it's infinite. I might do an infinite tier list actually, but just for regular game modes, I think Weatherport definitely outshines Kaguya. The witch is definitely really useful. Her nullify ability is insane, and her buff to guts is also incredible. Katakuri is slow, is really good. I don't really think there's any other like upsides to using him too much. The priestess really good unit, all rounder. Sakuya pretty good. Buffers. I didn't at first. I thought the king was kind of like not as good, but once I saw a bunch of showcases of him, once I started using him myself as well, I have the unit. I have 2 of them, I believe. Once I figured out what he's actually capable of, he is just an incredible unit. Really, really high DPS, and your entire team is immune to any kind of debuffs of any sort. And I believe he also buffs your units too. So just really good all around. Griffith, really good. Repulsion, slow, buffs, damage. I did a showcase of him, but I'm being honest with you, he's really good, but most times he kind of works against your team, which is why I put him a level lower than the king. And I put stuff about the smith because of the time efficiency and being able to teleport around the map is also nice. The smith is a good support, but his damage boost is comparable to other units, and he doesn't do any damage himself, which means he's not really good for overall team composition. So yeah, I think this is more accurate. I definitely need to fix my last tier list. My last tier list was a mess. I'm sure in like 2 weeks from now, I'm going to come back here, look at this, and regret posting it. That's my tier list. I'm not going to edit this. I'm not going to cut it. I'm too tired. It's like 10, it's almost 11 o'clock actually. It's almost 11 o'clock. I'm not editing this. I'm going to post it raw, just how I like it. And yeah, that's about it.